What up, though, people? Thank you for pushing play on the Lions War vlog again. We are on the first book of Adam and Eve. It's 2 books. We're on the first book. We're on chapter 57. We're going to go ahead and jump right in, set it up real fast. You know, you can listen to the previous video to catch up. But to set it up real fast, Satan, Lucifer, the devil, if you will, that darkened one, has made himself known to Adam and Eve at the entrance of their cave. And now he's about to really make himself known to Adam and Eve. But we're about to see something very different than we've seen from Adam in his response. And it's very cool. It's very interesting to read and to break down. Let's go ahead and jump into it. But when Adam came out and saw his hideous figure, he was afraid of him and said unto him, Who art thou? Oh, brother, who art thou? Who is you? Says, who are you? Who you be? Then Satan answered and said unto him, It is I who hid myself within the serpent, and who talked to Eve, and beguiled her until she hearkened to my command. I am he who sent her through the wiles of my speech to deceive thee, until thou and she ate of the fruit of the tree, and you came away from under the command of God, or under the command of the Most High. I'm about to read that again. First, I'm going to take a little sip of some tea real quick. I do drink my tea out of bowls. It's so good. That's an immune and de-stressor tea. It's like a sweet lemon tea. Oh my God, it's so tasty. All right. Then we're going to read this again. Then Satan answered and said unto him, It is I. I'm the one who hid myself within the serpent. So here is a clear-cut indicator that the serpent itself is not the devil. I'm going to say that one more time on YouTube. The serpent itself, not the devil, was a vessel that the devil or that low energy manifested and manipulated the humans through. Remember when we come across the part where Adam and Eve were told to go, what was it they were told to do? No, this is a different. I don't want to, let me not confuse. They were planning to go by the river that's near the garden just to kind of console themselves. And as they get near that river, or no, take that back. There was actually some skins that were supposed to be on the ground that were on the ground. The Most High said, there's going to be some skins on that ground of some kind of carcass. I forget what it was. And he said, now that you can use as a covering for your body. But remember, he also told them some chapters ago, hey, because you transgressed me, that's why I had to put the covering over your real nature, which is your body. So 2 different coverings there. Okay? Now with the clothing, they were on the way to get the covering for themselves. I forgot what animal had died, and the spirit told them, go down by this area. There's animals there. You go there and find what you need and use it to cover yourself. But when they got there, before they got there, there was 2 wild lions that the writing says the devil riled up within the lions, and they tried to kill Adam and Eve. The Most High had to protect them. The spirit had to protect them. You catch my drift? You understand? So now we're starting to see this narrative of this serpent that's just like, oh, it's always the serpent. It's not always the serpent. The scriptures themselves help us realize that as we read through them. But you have so many people that will look at a snake, and there are some beautiful snakes on the planet. They are a beautiful species. I love amphibians. I love animals in general. So, but you got a lot of people that will still take that snake and relate it to El Shaitan, Satan, the devil, the dark one, Lucifer. Well, I call him the dark one, the dark energy, the dark essence, the dark spirit. The spirit to be having men tripping out here in their minds, acting like they ain't really tripping for real. Even religious men be on that. That's why I say I'm not a religious man. You're going to find me hard pressed to be around religious men also, because they ain't going to be trying to hear what I'm talking about. And I ain't trying to hear what they talking about. So you're going to be hard pressed to find religious men around me also. That don't mean I don't fellowship with others. I don't respect others and get along with my fellow human, or that I don't respect the spirit of the Most High and follow these scriptures. That's why I'm doing this vlog. I'm talking about religion, though. I ain't talking about true walk with the spirit of the Most High. So anyhow, I ain't trying, people get irritated. So let me keep going. So remember the covering, though. Right? So remember that with the lions, if you've stayed with everything that I've read so far, you remember what I'm talking about with the lions. Remember that, right? In that situation, it said Satan riled up in the lions. It literally says in the writing, the same spirit that was in the serpent, the trick, it kind of what it says here, it was the same spirit that riled up in them lions. And when them lions became irate and focused their gaze on Adam and Eve to go kill them, that's the devil. You may say, get the concept down, yo, right here, right now, at the 7-minute mark on this video, 7-minute and 7-second mark on this video, get it understood. The devil is not some 3-pronged scepter with a tail with an arrow on it with horns, and he red and he waiting. And I'ma just go as far. I'ma step out on this limb and go as far as to say, even with Hollywood, don't no devil look like what they say them devils look like. Even Da Vinci, how he gonna paint what he said an angel or a devil look like? How did he know? And they always base it on their overall overarching culture. It's never based on the truth. You understand? So that's very powerful there. It is I who hid myself within the serpent, who talked to Eve and beguiled her until she hearkened to my command. In other words, I tricked her. I spoke sweet nothings. I manipulated her with my words until she hearkened to me. Kept talking and sweet nothings and tricking and tricking and tricking and tricking and tricking and tricking again until she just... He says, I am he who sent her through the wiles of my speech, like what I just said, to deceive you until you ate of the fruit of the tree and you came away from under the command of the Most High. Why? Because I wanted you to give me that obedience. That's what, not me personally, but that's what that darkened one was all about. That's the spirit of the darkened one. It hates what was created after it. For whatever reason, it hates the intelligible being that was created after it, the human. It hates it. For whatever reason. Well, we know some of the reasons from the book of Adam and Eve. So if you pay attention and you follow. If you tap into the Quran a little bit in the beginning, then you'll be able to learn a little bit more about Lucifer and hear a little bit more about what happened and the whole story. Okay, so I was going to deviate right there, but the spirit is saying, no, don't deviate and go there. I was going to say something about Ishmael and the fact that, with him being in love with his dad, and he was, and the Ishmaelites, the people that came from Ishmael, which is the Middle Eastern cultures, quote unquote Middle East, but those cultures, he's the progenitor of those cultures. Look that up. the beginning Ishmaelites before Muhammad, oh, they were Hebrew. Look that up. That's history. That's fact. That's how come the Quran has the Torah in it. That's Hebrew. That ain't Middle Eastern. That's Hebrew. That's not like Palestinian roots, Afghani roots. That's Hebrew, Israeli roots. So you gotta really look at that. They don't be liking to look at that though. You understand? So he said, so to deceive you, I sent her to deceive you until you and she ate of the fruit of the tree and you came away from under the command of God. That right there, do I need to read it again? I don't need to read it again. But when Adam heard these words from him, he said unto him, can you make me a garden as the Most High made for me? Adam's starting to get it. Remember the previous few chapters, the last few chapters, the Spirit told him, yo, next time that dude get to coming around, why don't you ask him to prove himself to you? Or no, what the Spirit told Adam is, I'm the one who gave you life, yet you went after him and obeyed what he said. I'm the one who loves you, yet you go and you paid reverence to him. Remember, there are some of the parts, and even at Adam and Eve, that Adam thought that Lucifer himself could destroy their spirit and their soul. So there was still a certain obedience that he was still willing to give to Lucifer. Think about that. Now, that's deep because maybe that's what caused Lucifer to kind of know, like, if I can get them to obey me, I might be able to have something going because I know how this thing flows a little bit. I got a little power up in here. Humans do the same thing. Like I've always maintained, humans are reflecting where they came from. They're created, the higher creation higher than them. If it's an essence, if it's an actual being, whatever it is, what's represented as far as the energy that is able to, you can't see it, but it's able to permeate your brain and then be the meditation of your heart and your mind and all that, whether you choose positive or negative. Yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing. And how you choose is how you're going to prove the manifestation of what you've chosen. Because it seems like outside of that, the negative energy doesn't really have a foothold. You could see positive because look at the plants, look at the animals, look at the spiders, look at the birds, look at the fish, look at the sky, look at weather. As awe-inspiring and as terrible as the weather can be sometimes, and as gripping as it could be, is beautiful. Look at the planets and the sun and the moon and the solar system. Look at your fellow human being. Look at some of these species on the planet. Look at some of the deep water species with these lights and things on them. Mean to tell me that's not positive? That's all positive. So it seemed like to me that negativity needs a foothold, and the only foothold it can have on this planet is through a funky airhead human that wants to sit back and act like they don't have to answer for morality. You're wrong. I don't care how you feel about it either. That's just my 2 cents. You probably don't care how I feel about it either. Whatever. That's your 2 cents, right? Keep reading. Or can thou clothe me in the same bright nature in which God, which the Most High, which Elohim clothes me in? Can you do that? Can you do it, Lucifer? Can you do it, Satan? Can you do it, Darkwind? Can you do it, liar, manipulator? You liar, manipulator who on the planet, can you give me the truth? You hater of good who's on the planet, can you show me love? Can you give me love? Can you help me elevate? You person who led me into adultery, which really that's my own decision because I messed up, but I'm just saying, even if I was the man who was leading people into sin, can I be someone in that state who lifts someone up spiritually? So Adam is saying to that darker one, yo, bro, can you do something for me? Like what you said? Where is the divine nature? This is Adam still going. Where is the divine nature that you did promise to give me? Where's that fair speech of thine that you did, that thou did hold with us at first when we were in the garden? In other words, where's that fair speech that where's that communication? that you had with us? Where's all those promises? Where's all that sweet, smooth talk now? Then Satan said unto Adam, unto the first man, the dark one said unto the first man, thinkest thou that when I have spoken to one about anything, I shall ever bring it to him or fulfill my word? Not so, for I myself have never even thought of obtaining what I asked. In other words, I tricked you. I ain't even got what I asked. But since you're already tricked and you messed up, guess what? I could tell you and it don't mean nothing. And I'm about to tell you what I'm about to try and do to you and your people, dog. And what you gonna do about it? You can't do nothing. That's the energy and the spirit of a being that would do something like that. Straight up, 100% it is. If you can't see it, then maybe you are aligned with that type of energy or spirit or whatever. That's on you if that's what you do. It ain't got nothing to do with me. All I'm doing is just here to present the truth. I ain't here to make you feel good about it. That's your own job to go do and figure out for yourself. I'm a very encouraging and loving man, but when it comes down to this right here, man, please, I'm a warrior, dog. Hands down. That's it. Strongholds on strongholds, giants on giants, demons on demons, devils on devils. I don't play. It just is what it is. So, and that's the spirit in me. Lest because I can't boast of myself. Speaking of lest, because I just said lest I should boast of myself, because that's how I know the scripture. When you hear these, those, if it's lest and all that stuff, this is just written. This is translated into Old English. This was Old English. It was translated. Okay, so it was not spoken. Lucifer and God and Adam and Eve and all them people, they didn't talk to each other in English back then. The early human and the beings before them definitely weren't talking no English. I don't know how they was communicating. Maybe telepathically or through like vibrational frequencies, pitches, and who knows. Anyway, let me keep reading, man. So therefore did I fall and make, this is Satan. Therefore did I fall and did I make you fall for that for which I myself fell, because I knew what would happen. So I tricked you. Misery loves company. Just gotta have somebody be with his low vibing, airheaded, stank, deceptive, manipulative, lying, nothing spirit. Therefore did I make you fall by that for which I myself fell, and with you also. Whosoever accepts my counsel falls thereby. If you fall under my command, you fall. You move down from the high state. Thou shalt not kill. You want to kill? You're gonna move down from the higher state. Still, you're gonna move down from the higher state. Committing adultery, not being loyal, not being honest, yup, knocked down from the higher state. Or I ain't gonna even let you get up here because you was trying to get up here, you ain't getting up here. Oh, you want to bear false witness against your brother? You want to lie and say something that ain't true? Oh, you want to gossip? You want to disobey your parents all the time? Knocked down from the high place. What make you think you deserve to be up here? That's your spirit. That's your energy. That's your master. Go down there with him. He says, whoever accepts my counsel falls thereby. Man. But now, O Adam, by reason of thy fall, thou art under my rule, and I am king over thee. Like what I just said, go down there with him. Thou art king over thee, because thou hast hearkened to me and hast transgressed against thy God, thy leader, thy creator, the Most High, Yahweh, Elohim. Neither will there be any deliverance from my hands until the day promised thee by the Most High, Yahweh. Remember that day? Go back and listen to go back and listen to everything before. I ain't got the time to keep going back. Again, he said, inasmuch as we do not know the day agreed upon with thee by the Most High, Yahweh, nor the hour in which you shall be delivered, for that reason we will multiply war and murder upon thee and thy seed after thee. Okay? Like what I just told you. Say's gonna tell him what he gonna do. He just told him. He don't have to hide it no more. He was never for them. And he knows that they can't do nothing with him. As now, the spirit can protect them, but he knows that he can manipulate them now because they're under. Listen, they're under his frequency, so they have to obey him because why? He has the highest frequency of the lower ones. All them decisions that you making excuses for, that you think is like so cool, you doing stuff that you gratifying the flesh, and you like, oh man, oh no, man, just go have your fun. It ain't that deep. Yes, it is. Yes, it is, because you under your master. And everybody wants to have access to the power. Everybody wants to have access to the true anointing. I ain't talking about the religious anointing or the anointing of like, oh, I look good. I'm about to come on this camera and say something, and I'm handsome. I'm gonna come on this camera and say something, man. They gonna listen just because. I'm not talking about that. I ain't talking about like internet, like social media clout, because you know how to do things that make people come look. I'm just saying. Whew. It beat, man. This stuff gets to rolling. The spirit is saying, let me hurry up and finish. Neither will there be any deliverance until the day promised by God. He says again, your seed and your seed after you. But people want access to that real power, y'all. They want access to that real power, but they don't want to live under the highest one. And they can't. They try and figure out, well, how come I don't have access? Because you cut off. Go down there with your master, like what it says right here. He just told the first. He just told the first human himself. Whosoever accepts my counsel, whoever falls under my counsel, whoever is under me, you fall. You don't get to stay high because you're paying obedience to me now. And remember, I want to be the highest one. I'm the highest one in my own mind. I'm the highest one at least up until this frequency, and I'll take that. All y'all little boogers is under me. If you align with me. This is our will and our good pleasure, that we may not leave one of the sons of men to inherit our orders in heaven. One more time. He said, this is our will, do you hear that? This is our will and our good pleasure, that we may not leave one of the sons of men to inherit our orders in heaven. In other words, jealousy, because eventually Lucifer knew they're going to move up. They're better. They're going to be better than us because he's learned more, and they are doing more, and they're creating different species now. Things have advanced more. So now new things are popping up, and they might end up being higher than me at some point. So he says, this is our will and good pleasure, that we may not leave alive one of the sons of men to inherit our orders in heaven, in the high places. Or in other words, we don't like the fact that you get to be in a high place and we got cast down and we don't get another chance to get back up there. So we're going to try and keep as many of you as possible away from your true power. And that's what they successfully do. And remember what I said earlier? How does that happen? How is that manifesting upon the earth? Through the human. So what does that mean? If the human stops choosing the devil, we can get this boy together real good, and the Most High would instantly meet us like, oh, y'all actually are figuring it out? Let's go. Now I'm about to purge that dark one forever, and we about to reset this thing. Because I'm not about to restart y'all. I've been waiting for this. Let's go. Get these humans together. That's where you're going to find the devil at. Period. For as to our abode, these are the final 3 verses, and then we're done. We're right where I want it to be. About 15 to 25 minutes, like I told y'all. I'm trying to get them shorter. For as to our abode, O Adam, O first man, as far as where we're from, it is in burning fire, and we will not cease our evil doing, no, not one day, nor 1 hour. And I, O Adam, shall sow fire upon thee when thou comest into the cave to dwell there. That statement right there, I don't have enough time to really break that down. But I would just say rewind that and listen to that statement one more time and ask the spirit to reveal to you or just kind of break down. This is what I want you to do. Look, the burning fire and the cave. The burning fire and the cave. That could be allegorical. If not literal, because like what I've maintained in these videos, early human definitely do something different. First human definitely do something different than we. Absolutely. So these things could be literal for them, because as outlandish as it may be for us, we have to understand, if you take the first man and the very first woman and bring them and pop them into this society, they gonna be looking like, what? And if you take us and you pop us back up in the beginning, we gonna be looking like, what? So who can really say, oh, no, it ain't really how it happened? Because you can't describe it, because you can't touch it, because you can't taste it, because you can't smell it, because you can't understand it, because you can't comprehend it, because you ain't got the spirit to be able to break it down. That's on you, dude. That's on you, sis. You could get to that power, like what I said before. Everybody got the access to get to the power. Or maybe I didn't say it on this video, but I just said it today to somebody recently. Everybody has the access to get to this power, but who gonna actually live the way they need to live to get to it? Who's actually gonna do it? A lot of people think religious people got the power, like religious only. Just because you go to church every Sunday, you've been going to church for 20 years. What's your heart and your mind and your spirit talking about? That's what the spirit of the Most High is looking at. He don't care if you step foot in the church ever one day in your life. If your spirit is intact and you're accurate and you're tithing and you're giving off that 10%, like, because that's one of the signs. You're aligned spiritually. You're doing what you need to do. Let's just say, like, hypothetically, you ain't never got to go into church again. The Most High knows you're my son, you're my daughter, straight up, and I know it. And you can have somebody who set foot in that church for 50 years straight and still be a heathen in their mind and in their heart and in their spirit, a goyim. When Adam heard these words, he wept and mourned and said unto Eve, hear what he said, that he will not fulfill aught of what he told you in the garden. He will not fulfill none of it. Did he really then become king over us? Oh, did he really then become king over us? Or did we submit ourselves to him by being obedient to him? And thus, human, in the modern world, in this 2025 life walking around, who told you that you had to be living for sin? Do you even understand what a sin is anymore? Or do you just think that everything is okay and acceptable and everybody should just shut up about it and just be quiet? And I should just, am I a hater because I'm telling you that what you're doing is wrong, even though your whole crew feel like it's so cool? I'm a hater. I'm a big hater. I'll be that. I'll be that. The devil manifests through the humans who choose to respond to negative, evil, dark, sinful, wicked, empty, manipulative, lying, inhumane things. That's the devil, like I always say. But Adam says, final words to Eve, but we will ask Yahweh, we will ask the Most High, we will ask God, who created us, to deliver us out of his hands. Adam's starting to get it. They ain't about to get back in the garden no time soon at all. But he's starting to get it. Lucifer has revealed himself. And now it's about to get real interesting, because Lucifer has pretty much let them know, like, I'm your adversary. I'm your op. I got beef. What up? And now it's about to get interesting. Because now we about to see that devil, that Satan, is about to start wilding out. Watch in book 2. Watch towards the end of book 1 and book 2. How he get to deceiving the early humans and everything like that. Yeah, watch. So I'm just saying, y'all. Y'all heard what God said. I don't need to say nothing here. Hit that notification bell. Hit the subscription button. If you made it this far, subscribe. You know, go ahead, let's get these numbers up and let's get this good news out and let's get this word out. This is a tie, so I don't care where the numbers go. I'm just saying I want people here who want this information, so let's get those numbers up. I hadn't posted in a few weeks. I wanted to give y'all some time to catch up. I think, like, you know, that's a smart thing. I recorded probably for about 3 months straight. And then you know, it's kind of like when you do recording for like a season or a show, you know, you record and then you have that break because actors can't just go forever. The people can't go forever. They got to, you know, rest their voice, rest their emotions, rest their mind, rest their bodies. So you have a break. You got an end of the season and you have a finale. Then they show reruns. And then about 2 months, however many weeks, however many months, boom, new season. So this is technically starting the new season. I want to see what the algorithm is going to do too. So I'm also testing right now. But one thing that I will definitely surely do is make sure that when I do it, I will do it in between books now instead of in the middle of a book, because I don't feel like that's fair. And if somebody who was really following, they real irritated right now, like, dang, bro, where you at? Where's the new one? Y'all be blessed, man. Keep coming back. Holla, peace.